Our speaker from the class of 2020, Samantha Droope, who will be receiving her Bachelor of Science in Meteorology today. Past year or so, she served as a broadcast meteorologist at 9 and 10 News in Cadillac, Michigan, going up there every weekend and a lot more than that. Uh, Samantha started out thinking that she would be K through 12 education. She made an abrupt change to meteorology, and we're so happy that she did, and we know that she's happy that she did as well. So she is going to say a few words on behalf of her class. Thank you, Samantha.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. A little nervous to follow that up, but I'm sure go just fine. Okay. Hello, fellow meteorology graduates, family, and friends. We sit here today to celebrate the accomplishments of students now proudly deemed scientists. Congratulations. Of course, we never imagined this celebration to be behind a computer screen, but we have earned this moment to celebrate the countless hours of energy and hard work we put into earning the title of being a meteorologist. Now, in true meteorology fashion, one cannot hear the words work and energy and not tie them back to the first law of thermodynamics. Now, for those of us that aren't meteorologists, just bear with me for a few minutes. And for those of you who left thermodynamics as a hazy memory from sophomore year, here it is. The first law of thermodynamics states that heat is a form of energy, and that thermodynamic processes are therefore subject to the principle of conservation of energy, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. One part of this really stands out to me, and that is that energy can never be created or destroyed. Let's walk through our journey as undergrads and reflect on just exactly how our energy was used. We walked into the first day of our freshman year in the program full of untapped energy, intensity, and spirit. We were the brightest and best from high school with higher GPAs and ACT scores than anyone we knew, and we were ready to learn exactly why a tornado forms. 40 of us sat side by side while Dr. Baxter explained that none of this was going to be simple or easy, and that we would have to work harder and put more effort into this degree than we had ever thought possible. He told us some wouldn't make it, and judging by the lack of student faces, a few didn't, but we did. The 12 of us took that untapped potential energy and put it into motion, combing through our strengths and weaknesses, learning that just sitting there during lecture was no longer going to get you an A, and that flashcards would no longer work because it just wasn't about memorizing anymore, and that carrying a whiteboard and dry erase markers around campus was officially deemed acceptable. Just when we thought we had it all figured out, after our first year in the program, we were thrown into thermodynamics, synoptics, cloud physics, calculus 1, 2, and 3. Oh yeah, and let's not forget differential equations. These classes tested our limits, boundaries, and made us tap into different parts of our brains we had never used before. We discovered that no one person was great at everything. Well, unless you're Dan Butler, and that everyone's journey was going to be a little different. Sophomore year, we dove deeper into the first law of thermodynamics, where Dr. Mower taught us that when a system is not isolated, the energy available to that system can change, depending on the force exerted through work or the energy exchanged by virtue of temperature. This, in some ways, related to how we felt as sophomores. Balance to keep that original untapped energy the same was difficult, because at this point, we were not systems working in isolation. We were students facing new challenges every day, from deriving the Clausius-Clapeyron equation from memory to figuring out how in the world our professors came up with some of the questions that would show up on the exams based on the notes we had taken, to learning how to identify a supercell on radar. We think that we have put more work into this program than any other student has into their program on campus. And that's why at times some had roadblocks, and no matter how much work and energy was put in, the heat of the program would catch up. Junior year eventually swung around, and we realized that our energy was constantly changing to the point where we didn't know if we could find the balance needed to make it through this stressful major. Our professors knew how to fix that, though. They made us work together. And at times, we did not understand all that group work, and there was a lot of it. But together, we balanced out each other's energy by bouncing off ideas from one another to come up with the best possible solutions. We spent more time on the November 1998 storm than we ever wanted to, learned to draw the perfect surface analysis maps, and how to successfully decipher Dr. Keeler's challenging homeworks. Although, if there is one thing I know, it is that junior year would not have been bearable or enjoyable without having each and every one of you by my side. P.S. If anyone has figured out QG theory yet, please let me know. Our summers were spent chasing tornadoes across the United States, researching at U of M, volunteering for the National Weather Service, or in front of the bright lights on the green wall. We were hooked. Meteorology became our everything, and we came into senior year ready to prove we were unstoppable. Dr. Allen and Dr. Kluver didn't let us go out without a fight. I think Dr. Kluver went through more red pens on our climate dynamics papers than Staples sold. But there's something different about senior year. At this point, we knew we weren't systems working in isolation. We needed each other every single day to pull through. Countless hours of studying, coffee runs, to practically sleeping in Brooks Hall at times. We worked hard for every point we earned. We received, and we finally learned about those tornadoes. We had each other, and that's all we needed. Now, if you're anything like me, you're sitting here feeling a little more bitter than sweet, because all of a sudden, the system to learning meteorology that we fought so hard to figure it out crumbled. We didn't have Brooks Hall anymore, or our professors' offices to barge into, or Harold's puns to keep us laughing through the crazy. Now we are separated, a little confused, and with a whole lot of energy that seemed to come to a sudden halt. We feel as though we are back to those freshman isolated systems. But I'm here to tell you we aren't. We have each other. We will always have each other because of one common denominator. We are meteorologists now. Our community is one that is interwoven deeper than any community I know. Whether it be at future conferences, research, you be the one issuing the warning or broadcasting the warning or learning how to better communicate that warning, we are going to continue to be connected. We, better than most, know that one system never works in isolation. A new variable brings different processes together and different people together. So in a time where we feel isolated and like our energy can be destroyed, know that it can't be, and that we are tied together now more than ever. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it.